as a bariatric dietitian that's been online with a membership for 10 years, I have been asked thousands of questions. I don't know, so many questions. I have live calls with members and I have them submit questions. And as I celebrate 10 years of Premier Access membership to Bariatric Food Coach, I have created this like best of ebook, and I put the most asked questions during live call into this ebook. And I also thought, hey, I'll go ahead and make a video and tell you all what questions I've been asked the most after a decade of coaching bariatric surgery patients. Biggest question, far and away, how much should I be eating now? Well, portions will naturally grow in the first year post-op. Nothing to be alarmed of. This is why I like 2 bites of protein to 1 bite of veggies or fruit. It allows you to focus on the quality of food and let your body cues tell you what the right amount is. And this approach can work no matter how many years post-op. I do have a really good resource for this question. I have an ebook called Food Clarity at Every Stage Post-op. Okay, next question. What is a good way to get started when you feel overwhelmed with all the food information? Well, this is why I created the Food Fundamentals course to help answer this super common question. Nutrition is very noisy, even or especially for bariatric surgery patients. So this is a course that goes through macros, calories, eat this, not that kind of thing, all sorts of questions around food. It is really overwhelming. That is meant to kind of quiet the noise a little bit. Can anything be done to minimize hair loss or loose skin? Well, losing hair is a common experience in the first 3 to 6 months post-op because of the stress of surgery and the speed of weight loss. That can't be prevented. If it's been more than 12 months since surgery and you notice hair loss, that could be related to zinc, iron, protein, or other vitamins. So staying on track with bariatric vitamins and labs will prevent this experience. Loose skin is very tricky. It depends on age, genetics, the amount of weight loss. Strength training and hydration can help, but mostly it is part of the journey. How do you get in 64 ounces of water a day? Just keep swimming. Sip all day, keep a bottle with you, set reminders if needed, flavor water with lemon or your sugar-free mixes. Sometimes it's not one big trick that makes water easy, but it's lots of little tips and tricks here and there that help the ounces add up through the day. Are straws and carbonation okay now? Well, after the early healing stages, many patients will start to tolerate them, but everyone is different. So try slowly, see how your body responds. Many programs will say to wait 6 months. What are ideas for lunches? I have a link that will take you to a big blog of recipe and meal ideas for lunches organized by sections. Cold protein salads, deli meat and low carb wraps, salad jars, kits and bento boxes, stoops and chilies, pre-cooked meats. Speaking of lunches, what about breakfast ideas that aren't eggs? Chicken or turkey sausage links or patties. You could do store-bought, or I have a recipe for chicken sausage patties. You could do Greek yogurt with berries or cottage cheese with fruit. Protein bento boxes like cheeses, lean turkey or lean ham, portioned amount of nuts. Protein pancakes. One of the top rated recipes for 10 years of Bariatric Food Coach was my banana nut protein pancakes. You could do an egg-free breakfast casserole. So you have chopped veggies, turkey or chicken, sausage, and cheese, but you skip the eggs. You can do protein shakes or protein coffee if it keeps your hunger controlled. So something to watch. How can I counteract emotional eating? This question that came up a lot was at work or at night. They're kind of 2 main times of day. Lots to say here. I have a whole course on emotional eating. So if you haven't watched it yet, that is in my Premier Access library. And I talk about investing in the 5 pillars of bariatric living, building a healthy foundation to set yourself up well physically. So that's water, food, movement, sleep, vitamins. And then try to set yourself up well in your environment by having food options for yourself and then avoiding tempting environments the best you can. If you're at work, there's only so much you can do, but the best you can, avoid tricky areas, or at home. We'll talk a little bit more about family dynamics. And then using stress relieving tools if it's stress related, like deep breathing, cold water to the face, walk breaks outside, aromatherapy, slow music to help combat cortisol, the stress hormone, which we'll come back to that too. Common questions around cortisol. Okay, another big question. Do I increase carb intake if I'm increasing exercise? Typically, yes. This will depend on what type of exercise, duration, your overall goals. This can be individualized depending on the whole situation. So I do one-to-one visits for this kind of a question. I have a course called Exercise in the Bariatric Diet in Premier Access, so that explains more, or I will link my one-to-one services page. Okay, what are your tips for getting back on track? Honestly, sometimes it's a matter of going for a long walk and asking yourself what would help you feel better. Truly, a lot of times you have the answers for what you need. You just need some time and space to think about it. Go back to the 5 pillars. Which of those do you need most help and focus on right now? Again, water, sleep, food, movement, vitamins. The other pillars will improve when you put effort towards one of them, and you will feel more like yourself even after 1 week of some foundation building. Many members will use my 10-day habit refresh workbook or the After the Honeymoon course for inspiration while they do a week of pillar building to refocus and start feeling better and get back to it. Okay, I told you I'd come back to this one. How do I stick with it when my family isn't making changes? Okay, again, lots to say here. It's everyone's home turf, so everyone deserves some say to an extent. But how can you make it work for you? This might mean organizing the shelves so everyone has their area, and maybe their bins are dark. They're not see-through where you have to see it every time you open the pantry or the fridge. And if you're the one doing the cooking, put your energy into the main protein and veggie entree, and then put out simple sides for them, because this is your health journey. So you can lead by example without making 2 separate meals. If they want more, they can add to the family style meal. You're putting out all the options, kind of make things deconstructed. Everyone can pick what goes on their plate, including you, but you're not going to extra effort for everything that they want. What can I do about a weight stall? Try not weighing too much. Use body composition or measurements for other indicators of body change. Go back to the 5 pillars again. Water and walking can sometimes be the key to see a breakthrough. Go back to food journaling. Members can request food journal feedback from me. Look for non-skill victories. Stay consistent. Stalls are normal, but super annoying. Can I ever drink and eat at the same time again? It is best to separate eating and drinking long term because the anatomy has been permanently changed. So food moves through the stomach faster when liquid is added to the meals. You can drink until your first bite, but yes, that is a recommendation that stays. What is the effect of cortisol on weight loss? I told you we'd come back to this. Cortisol is very helpful to the body, but too much, too often, it can take a toll. High stress can raise cortisol, which may impact hunger and fat storage. So cravings for high sugar, high fat foods might occur because you are fueling up for the fight or flight mode. So stress management, sleep, movement, downtime, very important component of weight management. Small meals through the day or 3 meals a day? Well, both can work depending on the patient and the situation. We tend to start with 3 meals a day with the goal of hitting hydration goals in between meals because of that tricky fluid rule. So focusing on solid proteins, small bites, going slowly, stopping at fullness, and waiting to drink. And that can make 3 meals a day possible for a long time. Further into the journey, protein snacks may become necessary. A planned snack is not grazing. So the key is consistency with protein and veggies at meal times, but not grazing through the day. Finding the rhythm that's helping you feel satisfied, satiated, still in control, and still getting in the hydration. So those are my most asked questions. I've been asked so many questions for over the past decade. Those are the heavy hitters. Feel free to drop what other questions you would add, and visit me at bariatricfoodcoach.com. There's a good chance I've got a blog, a video, a course. After a decade of membership and even more of blogging, I've probably got something on the questions that are on your mind.